Hi, this is Dr. Uchenna. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to continue my series on my PhD experience. So this is going to join the PhD stream of videos that I'm going to be making. So today I want to talk about 7 reasons why you should do a PhD. Not reasons why you should do a PhD really, but the benefits, the things I've learned from doing a PhD, the pros, as they say, the positives from doing a PhD, and maybe a few of the negatives. I don't think I have that much of negatives, so it's the pros and cons of doing a PhD. Now, the first pro I can mention is the first thing I learned, the main thing I learned there is critical analysis. And what does this mean? This just means being able to judge a body of work. I can't use the word critical here. Being able to judge a body of work objectively. That's what it means. Looking at the two sides of it, the pros and cons of your argument. So for everything you state in your PhD, you have to be able to, in fact, you're expected to find the other side of it, the negative side of it. For example, if you say that so and so is supported by so, you need to also find evidence that is against it, and there's always such evidence in research. And I'm talking mainly about doing business research, management research, philosophy research. So you can't be you can't be making a one-sided argument. Your argument must be balanced with both the pros and the cons. And what that teaches you, at your core, is that everything you hear cannot just be trusted. You have to do some level of research to find out if it's actually true, and to find out the other side of the argument, because there's always more than one side of the argument. And when you get that other side, and you have the two sides now, then you're able to make an argument and come to your own conclusion based on whatever reasons you have to believe. So that's what I learned there, and I think it's very helpful for me, because there's a lot of information, going around the place about everything, about coronavirus, about racism, and so many things. And before you can join the discussion, really, you need to be informed. And to be informed, you can't just rely on just one side of the story. You need to read, and understand the arguments from the two sides of the coin, so that you can have a rich picture of what is going on. And really helps balancing. It helps you when you're making an argument to be convincing. So that's something I learned, and it's very, very useful to me. The second thing I learned there, the second benefit, that I got from PhDs, it reinforced my propensity for hard work. So it requires a lot of work. I won't lie to you, because you have a question and you probably don't know how to there's no answer, at the beginning. So you're looking for the answer, and to find the answer, you're going to have to search and search in different places. You probably have to search in places that that may not be useful to you at the end, but you have to go in depth. You have to know when to stop going inside there, and because you find out that it's actually a rabbit hole, and you have to come out from it, go somewhere else, check here, check there. The work is really it's tremendous if you're not fully prepared for it. I got that hard work from it. I didn't learn hard work there. I already know the meaning of hard work. I've been working hard, but I have not worked as hard as I worked for this PhD. Academically, I'm talking about, not physically. It was really a testing period. Then, of course, the hard work involved, staying up at night, being alone and working, reading thousands and thousands of articles, just to get an understanding of my own research question. So the third pro there is your ability to handle criticism. So when you start off the PhD, whatever you write is going to be rubbish. It's going to be, I don't mean criticism doesn't mean rubbish, but it's going to be criticized immediately. They will, your supervisors or whatever, will have to correct you. And if you're someone that doesn't accept correction easily, then you're going to have a very hard time there. So it taught me some kind of patience, some staying calm, when my work is being taken to shreds, and it could take you a long while, maybe like a month, 2 months, to write a few pages, and you send it to your supervisor, and they look at it in less than 2 hours or something, and and let me use the word rubbish it. So you have to start all over again, or they tell you, you're writing off point or something. And it's hard to take sometimes, I won't lie to you. It's difficult, but so you have to go back, start again. So I don't know what to call that. It's a lesson in temperament. It's a lesson in handling rejection, handling, difficult feedback. Yeah, so that's another thing I had to learn there. It was difficult, even right up until the end. My work was still being, questioned and criticized. Do this, put this here, put this there. This is not right here. And yeah, you have to manage all those things. Then the fourth thing here, related to the first one, is critical thinking. Critical analysis and critical thinking are related. So critical thinking is just it challenges your thought process. So you're forced to think about how you think. You're forced to think, about your method. You're forced to think about how to link everything that you're doing from start to finish. You're forced to think because you're forced to read a lot of articles and recognize the pattern in the articles, recognize how they start and how they get to the conclusion. So there has to be a coherence. There has to be a methodological congruence. Don't mind me, I learned that word from my PhD. There needs to be a congruence, of whatever you're doing. Before you get to your findings, your findings is a confluence of ideas, of different findings. So you're going to combine all the findings into one. Now I'm talking from a point of view of a qualitative research study. That's not, the question, it's not a straightforward thing. It's not a survey. It's not a yes or no. You're not going to use any mathematical tools. You just have to use your brain to think, to extract meaning from what people have said, and then to compare it with what is already in the literature. So it's really an exciting period for people that like to think. It's very beautiful. It's good. It will help you develop your thinking faculty. It will help you organize your thoughts in your head. It will help you organize your arguments when you need to make one. It's you also learn how to, the fifth one, you learn how to write. Basically, that's the main thing you learn there, because you're writing all the time. At the end of the work, you have, I had, an 80,000 word dissertation. I think I did about 83 or 82,000, I can't remember. But of course, you're going to write hundreds of thousands of words, because you're going to throw away a lot of things. So there's going to be so much that you will not include in your final copy, which means you've written maybe like 150 or 170, maybe 200,000 words. it's a lot. I won't lie. So you have to keep writing and writing and writing, and you have to keep reading your own writing, which makes it so sweet. Yeah. Then what else? Fifth, I usually write down these things here. So my sixth one here is you develop the capacity to see projects through to the end. You develop the strength, the willpower to start something and finish it. For most research projects, you come up with a research question, or maybe there's a research question somewhere that has no answer. So you have to start from the question and start building your argument and your thesis, down right until the conclusion. And that's a very tedious process, cognitively and intellectually. So yeah, it takes a lot of resilience to see things, from the beginning to the end, to finish it, then to go and defend it before an external examiner who doesn't know what you have been through, who just reads your work and starts to question you to find out if you're actually the one who did the work or not. Yeah, then the last thing I wrote down here, the seventh thing I wrote down here is, how will I put it? It's an amalgamation of different soft skills, so-called soft skills that we learn there. Confidence, commitment, discipline, etc., etc. You learn all those things there. Perseverance. You just have to stay into the end. You just have to keep pushing. You have to keep believing. These are the aspects that these are the aspects that are not measurable as such, but you feel yourself growing. You feel, because you have to deal with anxiety all the time. So you're feeling yourself fighting the anxiety. You're feeling yourself, going from very low points, to high points. You feel very low when your work has been trashed, and you feel high when your work is accepted. So there are a lot of highs and lows to deal with there, and it all adds up together to build who you're going to be. So everything is about the process. I learned a lot about process, and that is the process that makes you who you are. So by the time you're done with the PhD, you would have been transformed in one way or the other. Yeah. Then to come to the cons, there are really not much disadvantage as such. Just that it takes a lot of time. If you take 3 years at the minimum, 4 years, 5 years, 6, 7, 8, some people do 10. It takes a lot of time. And most times you're working alone. If you're not working in a team or anything, you're going to be working, you get to have a lot of alone working, a lot of solitude time. So if you're not someone that can deal with that, then I don't know, because nobody really knows what you're doing when you're doing. It's just you and your supervisors. And your supervisors really don't care, because they have other people to supervise, and they have other things to do. They have work that they're marking. They have their own work to do. So you're basically on your own most of the time. This thing just keeps ringing in your head all the time, and it's a lot of pressure. So yeah, those are the disadvantages. What else? What can I call a disadvantage again? Yeah, just then you're a student for a long time. So if you're someone that wants to be making money and maybe you can combine it, but it's difficult to combine. And yeah, those are the cons I can think of. They're not that ugly. The ugliest of the disadvantages is just that if you drop out, yeah, I think there's quite some regret from people that don't finish. They don't finish their work for whatever reason. Some people have problems with their supervisors, and if you can't manage, so that's another thing I learned there. You need to learn how to manage people, at least the stakeholders who are your supervisors. You must learn to manage them. They all have different ideas. They bring in their own different ideas, and you have to combine it. And you have to know whose own you're going to take, and know how to explain why you didn't take this person's opinion and why you didn't take the other person's opinion. It's really that Is that political, you know? So, but you have a main supervisor, and you have another two that's how we do it in the UK, that are looking over the work. And yeah, that's the message for today. It's a bit long, but I feel it just has to be added. And I'll add this to the stream of my videos on my PhD journey and experience. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it brought some value to you, and I'll be doing more videos on my PhD later. Thank you. Bye.